You know, in Hollywood, it's one battle after another, especially when it comes to the audience's attention.
Yeah, well, this weekend was supposed to be. They're billing it as an epic match against A24's The Smashing Machine, and old T Swift's official release party of a showgirl, but the one getting smashed is The Rock. That's what I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And I mean, we continue to ask ourselves, what do theater goers want? We've been talking about this so much on the podcast. A potential Oscar-worthy film that mirrors society like One Battle After Another and The Smashing Machine? Or do they want a sing-along event-style film that will bring a massive cult following?
Yeah, it's interesting because deals are being made, money's being burned, but what is the true definition of success in Hollywood? Because as we know, Paul Thomas Anderson's film, budgeted at $130 million, made $22 million domestically during its opening weekend, while being a critical success, obviously, and a potential frontrunner for Best Picture nomination, right?
Yeah, but while a film that released earlier this year, Mickey 17, by the same company, Warner Brothers Pictures, was pushed to the side quicker than you can say box office bomb due to its poor performance at the box office, opening at $19 million against an $118 million budget. You see the double standard there?
Yeah, but as always, though, we've got a lot more to talk about, including all of that stuff. Hollywood is ready to go 10 rounds with the filmmakers and audience members alike to find out what everyone is yearning for.
Oh my goodness, that is right. And we got all that and more on this week's show of ITCAF Podcast.
Yes, that's right. It's slam-packed. We are going to be talking a little bit about that, right? The Rock's movie, how it's opening, why they planned it to open against Taylor Swift, and they didn't really have a choice. Netflix had a ton of stuff coming out. MGM had a ton of stuff coming out. It's usually dominated by Disney and Warner Brothers, but not this week, y'all. We got so much news. Bateman and Holland headed to Biloxi. I know, where's Biloxi? It's just outside New Orleans. We've got so much stuff to talk about this week. I can't wait to dive into it, man. It's going to be a fun one. And we got a big announcement.
Yes, we do. We are filmmakers, so we have something to show you. That's for sure. During our top 5 segment, we will be unveiling a very special announcement. That's for sure. But we don't want to wait any longer, so let's dive into the show. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Did y'all see that? What?
Let's just throw Scream 6 in there for like,
it was good.
Movie. It was really good. The best of the franchise, in my opinion, since the first one.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Oh my goodness, y'all know your host with the most for 309 episodes. Myself, J. Logan Austin, and of course, Dustin and Bergman. Man, oh man. What's up, man? How are you?
I am living the dream, buddy. Living the dream. Awesome. I'm also swimming in disappointment. Swimming in disappointment. How can I be living the dream and swimming in disappointment? Well, I saw one film I was really surprised at and happy with. One I was really surprised at and kind of upset about. But, I'll dive into it. That's the box office, folks. It doesn't matter, right? You never know. So, yeah. But other than that, man, I'm doing pretty good. Staying busy, we got so much stuff going on, but I'm excited. I like to stay busy, and it's been a busy week in Hollywood, which we know the end of the week is always our favorite because we love to dive in and talk about what's going on, right?
Most definitely, most definitely. Before diving into the rest of the show, be sure to leave a rating on this show. Comment below if you like this podcast, because if you didn't know, leaving a rating on the podcast actually helps more people who enjoy entertainment news, but especially those who are trying to break into the entertainment industry, find this show. And we need word of mouth, because that is the best marketing tool ever. Let's be honest about it. Of course, we have social media. Of course, we have billboards. Of course, we have trailers. But word of mouth is definitely still the best marketing strategy.
Yes.
So please be sure to tell your grandma, who you call every week, about ITCAF Podcast. 2 crazy guys, a father-in-law and a son-in-law, just talking about the entertainment industry. Please
Sure.
be sure to do that. Oh my goodness. And of course, one more piece of business before diving in. Be sure to head over to our website, www.crazyanimated.com, where you can start rocking a little bit bit of something from Crazy Ant Media. We got a little bit of something for a little bit of everyone. Right now, it's 20% off in our store. So
Yes.
be sure to check that out, man. It's going to be freaking awesome. We got some Halloween merch about to come out too. So be sure to check that out. But Disney, they had some exciting news this past week. Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, and Maggie. Why do those names sound familiar? Well, it's because they're part of the huge, massive adult animated show, The Simpsons. They're coming back to the big screen after 20 years of being on the couch and being on the silver screen, better known as television screens. A
Yes.
sequel to The Simpsons movie is officially in the works at Disney's 20th Century and slated for release on July 23rd of 2027. Now, Disney and 20th Century haven't confirmed any plot details yet for the Simpsons follow-up, but they did share a poster on Instagram, though, which features the signature pink donut and the tagline, Homer's coming back for seconds. A feature film titled The Simpsons Movie was released in July of 2007 to a massive commercial success, earning $536 million globally at the box office against only a $75 million budget. Now, the film has taken the place of an untitled Marvel project, which has been removed from the studio's schedule. In terms of Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe, there will no longer be a new comic book installment between Avengers Doomsday, which comes out December 18th of 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars, which comes out December 17th of 2027. Few things there. That's okay. It's okay to only have one superhero film that builds up the anticipation. But the main thing is, and I don't mean to make you feel old, I think I was in it was in between the summer of 4th and 5th grade when the first Simpsons movie came out, when I went and saw it in theaters with my friend named Eli. We went to summer camp together, only day summer camp though. We didn't sleep together or anything. But yes, I'm super excited about seeing this new Simpsons film because it brings so much nostalgia back to my heart. I'm just saying.
Yeah, this is a family that will not go away. This project will not die. It's the longest running show on television. It's coming back into the theaters again, just like The Simpsons, man. Who would have? I think it's their ability to predict the future. They are scary accurate. They keep doing it. I think that's why we keep them around. I mean, I'm just like, I don't know, but they are clearly here to stay. I think it's one of those, they're going to stay until they don't want to do it anymore. That's what I think. That's just me. I also agree with you. I think this is the Russo brothers flexing and saying we're going to do it like Endgame and Infinity War. We don't need a filler film in between. We want to build the anticipation. We're going to leave them hanging with so much anticipation after Doomsday. They're not going to be able to wait for Secret Wars, but they're going to have to wait a whole year. I like that. I love that, actually. So we'll see. But you know what? The Simpsons aren't the only animation that's kicking butt for Disney. They've got another one. They unveiled a new trailer for Zootopia 2, the highly anticipated follow-up to the Oscar-winning 2016 animated feature Zootopia, of course, which stars Jennifer Goodwin and Jason Bateman, and features an all-new song by Shakira and Ed Sheeran. Now, the Shakira-performed tune titled Zoo will aim to recapture the magic of the original film's Try Everything, which has been streamed 2.7 billion times worldwide to date. Now, music and lyrics were written, as I said, by Ed Sheeran, Blake Slatkin, and, of course, Shakira, who produced alongside Alex A.C. Castillo. Now, the single releases October 10th, so next week. In addition to contributing to the song, Shakira reprises her Zootopia role of pop star Gazelle in the sequel, with Sheeran and Slatkin making cameos as a pair of sheep aptly named Ed Sheeran and Blake Lampkin. Okay, all right. Releasing November 26th, Zootopia 2 reunites us with rookie animal cops, of course, Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, as they come face to face with a mysterious pit viper, Gary the Snake, whose arrival disrupts the balance of the metropolis. I love the first one. I thought it was creative. It was a unique spin on animation and how they did it. So I'm pumped. I like it.
Yeah, most definitely. It's going to be a huge success, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Well, speaking of another huge success, and it's a revival that was dead of dancing. Never Gonna Dance Again, right, George Michael? The
Right.
ratings for week 3 of Dancing with the Stars rose for the second straight week since its season premiere. Now, the 2-hour episode that carried a TikTok night theme earned about 5.82 million viewers and a 1.22 rating among adults. Of course, that key demographic, 18 to 49. That's a season high for the 8 to 10 p.m. time period, too. This is the first time in nearly 20 years that Dancing with the Stars rose for the second week since the season premiere. Now, Dancing with the Stars also logged a 1.38 rating in adults 18 to 34. It's also sorry, lost my spot. It's also the best performer in the demo in more than 8 years. More fans are also engaged this season as well. Votes reached a new high for the TikTok night, which of course 39 million viewers, guys. That is up 11% from those votes from September 23rd. 39 million votes. I'm sorry, I can't read without my glasses. Okay, I'm getting old too. But hey, that's exciting.
I think they just finally got back to the formula that worked. 2 hosts, and they're bringing in some
Yeah.
people. I mean, I think they're seeing an uptick because a lot of the people that are on it right now, the stars, if you will, have a huge TikTok following, and so they're seeing TikTok people tuning in. And I'm going for Robert Irwin. Crikey! I think he's hilarious, and so far he's doing really well. So you go for it, Robert. Just get it done. Your sister did well. You might as well do it also, right? Let's see. What else is that's old? We've talked about all old, but what about anything new from Disney? Well, ABC has ordered R.J. Decker. Working title, y'all. Working title. We don't know. It's based on the Carl Hassan novel Double Whammy to series. It's going to series, y'all, in 2026 season. The show was originally ordered to pilot at the broadcaster back in May. And our guy, Scott Spedman, seems to be in everything lately, is joining the lead role in June. The show also stars Kevin Rankin as Aloysius Wish Aiken. Okay, Now, the official logline for the show states that R.J. Decker is a disgraced newspaper photographer and ex-con who starts over as a private investigator in the colorful, if crime-filled world of South Florida. The series follows him tackle cases that range from slightly odd to outright bizarre with the help of his journalist ex, her police detective wife, and a shadowy new benefactor, a woman from his past who could be his greatest ally or his one-way ticket back to prison. Now, ABC has pared back scripted programming heading into the broadcast season with, get this, guys, only 6 scripted shows on the fall schedule. High Potential, 911, the new series 911 Nashville, Grey's Anatomy, Abbott Elementary, and Shifting Gears. Yeah, I know. What about? Okay, I'm going to tell you. Fellow dramas, Will Trent and The Rookie, they're still there, don't worry. They're expected to debut mid-season with the reboot of Scrubs. So there you go. Yeah, cutting back, but at least the ones they kept are good ones. I mean, good.
Yeah, most definitely. And you can't do it all on your own. That's for sure.
No.
I'm no Superman. Scrubs, guys. Scrubs.
Anyway,
Yeah. Lainey
we
Wilson,
got that. Did they get it? I don't know.
Exactly.
And this is funny because it's a nice transition. You can't do it all on your own, but
Lainey Wilson has been named the host of the 2025 Country Music Association Awards on ABC, handling those duties by herself this year.
All by herself.
She is a superwoman. After being brought on as one of the 3 co-hosts in the previous year, of course, if y'all remember that. Producers picking the country star to be the telecast sole pilot is a sign of how fast her star has risen and how dominant she is as an ambassador for country music at the moment. As it happens, this will mark a rare occurrence of an artist who is nominated for the most trophies on a televised award show while also being the host of that said award show. Going into this year, the CMA's Wilson is tied with Ella Langley and Megan Maroney for the most nomination, which each of them have 6. The 59th annual show airs live on ABC from Nashville's Bridgestone Arena on November 19th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be available to stream next day, though, on Hulu, of course. So that's very exciting. Go country music, man.
Yeah, yeah. And she should just thank Taylor Sheridan. I mean, she was
Yeah.
known in the country music field, right? People loved her there, but I think she just got a whole new wide appeal audience when she was on Yellowstone, and that's how, makes sense now. Everybody's trying to capitalize getting her on TV. Makes sense. This one is going to be either really, really, really good or really, really, really bad. No in between, y'all. It's either going to hit or it's not. I'm, of course, talking about Very Young Frankenstein. FX has officially now given out the pilot order to that comedy. The project, as we told you, was originally reported to be in the works back in June. Now, it will star Zach Galifianakis, Dolly Wells, and Spencer Howes, as well as Nikki Crawford and Kumail Nanjiani. As previously reported, Carrie Ewells will also star. Now, exact plot details are being kept under wraps, aside from the fact, obviously, that it's inspired by Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder's Young Frankenstein. Character details are likewise under wraps, but sources say that Galifianakis will play Dr. Frankenstein. It was previously also reported that Ewells will play the President of the United States. Okay. If this thing gets picked up, the series, because just because you get a pilot order doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get on air. But if it does, it's set to air on Hulu. How do you feel about this one? Because I know you and Emily and me, and we're huge Young Frankenstein fans. I don't know about this. I'm nervous.
I'm very nervous as well. I mean, this is such a beloved classic comedy. Came out, I think, in 1974 or something like that. We just recently went and saw it on the big screen.
Yeah.
Fathom Events just had it re-released in theaters for the upcoming holiday season. And you know how people have the Christmas movies that they watch every year? Well, we watch Young Frankenstein every year, anticipating for Halloween, of course. Yeah, I'm very scared. I trust Zach Galifianakis, but of course, it's not really his ship to steer.
Yeah.
So I am worried. I mean, this is such a beloved franchise, or not even franchise. It's a beloved film that, please don't mess up. Please, please, please don't mess up. But I do have a little piece of history and a piece of knowledge that I don't even know if you know. But before the event, before that they showed the film in the theater, they had this guy who they didn't even super tell us his name or anything come on board and tell us a little history about Young Frankenstein. Did you know, in preparation for this film, Mel Brooks got a call from one of the set masters that was on the original Frankenstein film that came out in like 1939 and let Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder use the original laboratory set for Young Frankenstein. When I found that out, I thought that was so freaking cool.
How amazing is that the set was still intact, still existed,
it was
right?
in the dude's garage.
Yeah,
it was just in the dude's garage.
Like, you never know. Like, that is
No.
the weirdest, craziest shit, but that is the industry. It's like, oh yeah, no, I got this in the garage. You guys want to use it? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. That's freaking awesome, man. I love that. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
It's so good, man. It's so good. Well, what's not good? Well, it's kind of good. It's really a mixed bag, right?
Yeah, it depends on how you feel about it. Like,
It's a mixed bag. Disney is in the process of killing its Hulu standalone app and the service as it fully integrates into Disney Plus. But at the same time, the Mouse House is doubling down on the Hulu brand, including taking it global, because if y'all didn't know, Hulu's not global, it's only nationwide. As of October 8th, Hulu will become the global general entertainment brand on Disney Plus in the non-US markets, replacing the Star title. With the change and in preparation for what Disney is promising will be a fully integrated, unified app experience in 2026, Disney Plus consumers will begin to see further integrations of Hulu across the Disney Plus app as part of an ongoing iteration slate of production updates on the homepage and, of course, beyond Galaxy Far, Far Away. The changes come after after Disney completed the full acquisition of Hulu in a deal with Comcast this June. Now, in 2026, Disney expects to be fully merged with Hulu into Disney Plus. According to Disney, in the US, you will still be able to purchase Disney Plus and Hulu as standalone plans. At this point, though, Disney has not set a sunset date on the standalone Hulu app. Are they going to have a funeral? I mean, they should do it like on Halloween, like when they kill Hulu. I don't know.
Yeah, so basically they're saying they know it'll be fully integrated by next year. They just don't have an exact date of next year when the Hulu app won't exist. It's basically I think it's a smart idea though to keep Hulu as its own thing on Disney Plus though, because the name is recognizable. If you just completely eliminated it and it was just Disney Plus and everybody'd be like, where's Hulu? Where's Hulu? Right? 'Cause, so I think it's smart that they're keeping the Hulu name like they very much like they do Star Wars and Marvel and all that on Disney Plus. So you'll probably have a Hulu banner and you can watch your Hulu shows and all that kind of. I think that's smart. Nikki Glazer has set her next comedy special at Hulu. the razor-tongued roaster and Golden Globes host will tape her stand-up hour in her hometown of St. Louis in front of a sold-out crowd at the fabulous Fox Theater in October. Now, the show is part of Glazer's Alive and Unwell tour, airing sometime in 2026. The yet-to-be-titled special will be directed by Hamish Hamilton, who helmed Glazer's last special, HBO's Someday You'll Die. It will be produced by Dun plus Dustin and executive produced by Glazer, David Jamie, Chris Convey, and Alec Murray. It seems like everybody's just jumping in, everybody trying to get comedy. They all want like comedians to have their stand-up specials on their streamer. Makes sense, but Netflix is no joke.
They're no joke.
They're no joke.
Yeah, they're all following in the tech giants' footsteps. That's for sure. Heading over to Fox, though, Scott Wolf is set to return to Fox's dock during season 2 for a multi-episode guest arc, beginning later this season. Now, additionally, he will direct an episode in early 2026, so that's exciting. Co-showrunners and executive producers Barbie Kilgan and Hank Steinberg said in a statement that they always knew that Richard got fired, that he would never be the last of him. It would never be the last of him. But no one expected him to come back to a West Side like this, least of all, Amy. Now, Wolf appeared in all 10 episodes of the first season as a series regular. His character was fired from the hospital in the season 1 finale after it was revealed he made a critical mistake during a code blue, resulting in the death of a patient, and blamed the incident on Amy, who was played by Molly Parker, of course. After her accident, with Wolf's exit, Felicity Huffman joined season 2 as a series regular role, portraying Dr. Joan Ridley, Amy's med school professor and early mentor, who is now the new chief of internal medicine at Westside Hospital.
Yes, I already don't like Joan, which is unfortunate because I love Felicity Huffman. I do not like Joan. One episode in, I already fucking hate her. You miss Scott Wolf's Richard character. Now you like this guy. Like, no, he was better than Joan. Fuck Joan. If you guys haven't seen it, you'll find out why I'm saying that. Let's jump on over to Warner Brothers Discovery. And like we told you last week, James Gunn's Superman was the most watched film on HBO Max for the week. But now we have the numbers. Now we know how big. Superman apparently flew to 13 million views in its first 10 days on the streamer, making the platform's biggest 10-day audience for a movie debut since Barbie began streaming in 2023. Superman was a summer box office success, as you guys know, grossing more than $600 million on its $225 million budget. So this just in, people are loving Superman. It's like, in case you hadn't heard, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see. I love it. Like I said last week, it really reinvented the franchise, and I feel like people are enjoying DC property again. So that's always exciting to see.
Agreed.
I love it. Well, Cutoff, that is Jonah Hill's new comedy for Warner Brothers Pictures, has another addition in Nathan Lane. As previously announced, Hill and Kristen Wiig led the cast, also featuring Bette Midler, who officially boarded the project only yesterday. In the film, following a pair of rich siblings, who's played by Hill and Wig, who are cut off from their parents, Lane will play the family patriarch, and Midler will be portraying his wife. Now, Hill will direct from a script co-written by Ezra Woods. I love this because Jonah Hill, we've been seeing in the last couple of years, he's been making a transition more behind the camera and becoming more of the Seth Rogen filmmaker type of role, and I only want good things for him. He's a great creative. I love mid-90s, and I love everything he's doing now. So I'm excited to see this as well.
Yeah, I am totally right there with you. And I mean, Nathan Lane and Bette Midler is a married couple. Couple.
I'm right there with you, bro.
Married
right
couple.
There with you. Yeah.
That is going to be fucking hilarious. Those two playing off of each other is going to be huge. There's no doubt about it. I think that's going to be just huge. All right, let's jump on over to the Paramount, A Quiet Place Part 3 is hitting theaters 3 weeks later than previously scheduled. What? The fourth film in the Paramount series will now go wide on July 30th, 2027, the studio announced this week. The previous date was July 9th. Now I know what you're thinking. Why? Well, we just told you. Because people are kind of liking the big guy, Superman. Directed, written, and produced once again by John Krasinski. The film, if it had stayed on its original date, would have opened up against James Gunn's Superman follow-up, Man of Tomorrow. Yeah, that makes a smart decision to move it away from that. No doubt about it. So far, though, it has July 30th to itself, so that's good. It won't open against anything big. Krasinski revealed on social media that he's back to direct, write, and produce the fourth one. Had long been rumored, but he confirmed it. No cast is confirmed at this time, with the story also being kept very secret. I'm just going to say this. I think you could have opened against Superman and you would have done all right. People like the A Quiet Place franchise. They like Krasinski and they like horror films. I think it could have gone toe-to-toe with Superman and done okay. But if you want to delay it by a week and give Superman a chance to run its opening weekend and have its course or whatever, okay. But I think it would have been okay. That's just my thought on it. It would have been a 1-2 punch at the box office, but...
Completely agree. I mean, they could have turned it into like a Barbenheimer type of thing, or Glicked, or any of these other things that they have going on. Super fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a missed opportunity, honestly, for marketing purposes anyway. But both of them are going to be phenomenal because we have faith in both of these films.
It's true.
That is for sure. Well, The Naked Gun brought old school comedy back to the movie theaters this past summer, and audience will soon get to enjoy those same laughs at home as the live action comedy has arrived on Paramount Plus. Now, the late sequel to The Police Squad, inspired by the movie series of the same name from the 1980s and 90s, The Naked Gun reintroduced the franchise to modern audiences with Liam Neeson playing the hilarious detective Frank Durbin Jr., the son of Leslie Nielsen's lead character from the original films. Now, Nielsen, there's no L in there. Nelson's, still saying it, serious demeanor, jokes and a playful density and bizarre escapades of his crime-fighting character made for a outrageous comedy true to the Zucker brothers' original tone. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It wasn't great. But, I mean, I definitely think it's going to perform better at home on streamers. That's why stoners can be able to watch it at home, smoke their weed, get a little drunk, do whatever they got to do. But, yeah, it was okay. I mean,
Yeah, I was specifically waiting for this one to hit the streamers. I had no desire to see it in the theaters, but I do think, kicked back, having a little extra to make it a little bit more funny. I think that's the way to go with this one. All right, this next one I am super stoked about. I know you are too. There's no way. I mean, everybody probably is. You've heard them say over and over and over again. They have been talking about this. They're constantly asked about this, and the answer is still no. We will not revive and or reboot Everybody Loves Raymond. It just can't be done. We've lost a couple of the cast members. It just cannot be done. It can't match the magic. No. But that doesn't mean we can't have a reunion and talk about how awesome it was, right? It's been nearly 30 years, which I can't believe, since Everybody Loved Raymond premiered on CBS, giving the iNetwork a bona fide hit sitcom that helped revive the network's primetime fortunes. Now CBS will revisit, not reboot, not revive, revisit that time and the enduring legacy of the Ray Romano fronted show with Everybody Loves Raymond 30th Anniversary Special. Now, this thing's set to air Monday, November 24th at 8 p.m. on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus, of course. Romano, who won a comedy for lead actor Emmy in the series, will host the 90-minute special along with series creator Phil Rosenthal. The reunion will take place on the very soundstage where the Barone family's living room was recreated for the event. Now, besides Romano, who played, of course, sports writer and family man Ray Barone on Everybody Loves Raymond, series stars also joining in on the special event include Patricia Heaton, who of course was the lovely Deborah, Brad Garrett, Brother Robert, Monica Horan, Brother Robert's wife Amy, Madeline Sweeten, Allie, and Sullivan Sweeten, Michael. Now, per the logline for this bad boy, Everybody Loves Raymond 30th Anniversary Special will feature candid conversations with castmates Brad Garrett, Patricia Heaton, Monica Horan, Madeline Sweeten, and Sullivan Sweetland, as well as never-before-seen outtakes and commentary from the cast on how they became one of America's most beloved families. The special will also include a moving tribute to Doris Roberts and Peter Boyle, whose unforgettable portrayals of Marie and Frank Barone made them fan favorites and the emotional anchors of the series. Cast and crew and special guests will share heartfelt reflections on how the dynamic duo redefined the roles of interfering mother-in-law and couch potato dad in the lovable pillars of the Barone family. And I love that that's how that ends, because it just emphasizes how I started it with, you can't do it. Can you do it without Frank and Marie? You can't. That was the whole point of the show, really. Was the interference of the in-laws, right? So you can't, yeah. I'm excited, though. This will be a fun,
Yeah, I completely agree. Love the show and love that they're doing this. So super freaking cool. Well, what's other news that is so super freaking cool, and I know you're excited about it, Lioness has been officially renewed for season 3 at Paramount Plus. The renewal news comes nearly a year after the premiere of season 2 of the series, which launched back in October of 2024. Now, previous reports had indicated that Lioness would be back for a 3rd season, despite the silence from Paramount, but the news has now been confirmed. Now, Lioness stars Zoe Saldana, Nicole Kidman, and Morgan Freeman. The official logline for season 2 states that the CIA's fight against terror moved closer to home. Joe, Caitlin, and Byron enlisted a new Lioness operative to infiltrate a previously unknown threat. With pressure mounting from all sides, Joe was forced to confront the profound professional sacrifices she made as a leader of the Lioness program. You talk nothing but good things about this show, so I'm excited for it to come back.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you got to jump on this one. Out of all of the amazing stuff that Zoe Saldana has done, this is her best shit by far. I want to give credit because we didn't say, but Dave Annabelle plays her husband. And that dynamic with her kids and what they go through with her living this life, that dynamic is so rich and so just captivating. It plays heavily into what you were saying about the season. So Dave Annabelle kills it. And Nicole got a little extra time on her hands now, so it only makes sense. Maybe they shoot season 3 and 4 together back to back.
Good distraction. Good distraction.
That's right. Okay, so now we're flipping the script because I was super excited about Lioness. I know you are super excited about this one because you're a fan of this one. Ink Master, guys, coming back for season 17, if you can believe that. And this time the competition has a theme. Hometown Heroes. Yep, the show, hosted, of course, by Good Charlotte frontman Joel Madden, who also founded music companies Veeps and MDDN, if you didn't know, returns on Paramount Plus on Wednesday, October 29th, with 3 episodes. After that, the show will continue to roll out new episodes weekly. Okay, I like the idea of it now running with themes. That's new. That's a new little twist. So,
Yeah, I mean, you got to completely try to reinvent it sometimes, because they did one a couple of seasons ago where it was like coasts, like different coasts, like all come together, West Coast, East Coast. they're all on teams and different things like that. So I like how they're reinventing it, because there for a little bit, Ink Master was kind of on the chopping block. Even now, I believe it's still strictly just a Paramount Plus show,
Yeah.
where it used to be on linear television. So I'm super excited that it's still going strong even after Dave Navarro moved on. There's some controversy with one of the judges. They got new judges, they got a new host, and it's still very freaking entertaining. And I'm super excited about it because, like Lioness, I hadn't heard anything. So I was like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah.
But yes, the ink will be coming back. That's for sure. Well, no, it's not coming back after this run. The Shy. That's right. It's going to end its run over at Paramount Plus with Showtime in the upcoming 8th season. Now, the show was renewed for season 8 back in May, not long after season 7's premiere. With the season 8 renewal, The Shy became one of the longest running Showtime shows ever on the network's history. It now ranks alongside shows like Dexter, Homeland, and Weeds, which all ran 8 seasons at the premium cabler. Only Shameless has run longer, with that show wrapping up with 11 seasons, of course, back in 2021. Man, has it already been that long?
Yeah.
Production on season 8 of The Shy is set to begin in early 2026. So that's very freaking exciting. I know that one was a solid performer for them, but all good things have to end sometimes. That's for sure.
It's true. It's true. But I'm excited for it. At least it's going out the way it wants to go out. It'll have a definitive end, unlike so many shows that you just find out you're canceled and you didn't know it was coming and you're kind of screwed. Jumping on over to NBC Universal. In case you guys didn't know, Crazy Ant Media started off in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we're currently in Biloxi, Mississippi as well. And so that might be good news for us. Call us, Jason. Call us, Tom. Okay, what am I talking about? Jason Bateman will be making his 3rd feature as a director with Universal's adaptation of John Grisham, who also writes everything in Mississippi, if you guys didn't know. The Partner. Yep, his latest book, The Partner, is being turned into a film. Bateman will also executive produce under his Agrit Films, with his partner Michael Costigan producing as well. Tom Holland, as we told you earlier, I think a few months ago, is also attached to the film as a producer and has now decided to star in it. He will headline the film. When Holland's deal is final, he'll play Patrick Lanigan, a young partner in a white shoe Biloxi law firm who fakes his own death in a burning car. He leaves behind a wife, newborn daughter, and a secret. What he actually done is fake his death to create a template for a new life by stealing $90 million from a client of his crooked law firm. He finds happiness and love in South America. When the client who worked so hard to defraud the government finds the money he is missing from his offshore accounts, he becomes determined to hunt down the lawyer he doesn't believe is dead. That leads the attorney to have to turn himself into the FBI, face up to his wife and the child that he left behind. Shit! Why we got to do that to Tom Holland? What? Everybody loves Tom. We gonna make him a dick? Oh well, can Zendaya be the wife he leaves behind? That would be sweet. That'd be awesome, right?
That would be sweet. And kudos to his agents, because he's again trying not to be typecast.
Yeah, no.
I mean, he's had some flops like the Netflix film and Cherry on Apple TV Plus. That was even with the Russo brothers.
So bad.
So I mean, I now hopefully with the Odyssey, Christopher Nolan's upcoming film that everybody's already talking about, it's going to win Best Picture. Hopefully, with that set experience, it helped him kind of come into his own as an actor. Because not that he wasn't good before, but he kind of settled into the Spider-Man role in Peter Parker to where obviously that was what he was known for. So we need more things from him like this, in my opinion, especially collaborating with already huge established filmmakers like Jason Bateman. And John Grisham is obviously very successful in the literature world and even has some films that are very successful. So I'm hoping for the best, man. I really am.
Well, and you know what? I think the talent's always been, let's be honest about it. When a guy like Christopher Nolan and legendary casting director who never misses, John Papsadera, puts you in a film, they're saying, we believe in you. We've got talent in you. I mean, Nolan specifically asked for Holland, and Papsadera's like, yeah, okay, we can see that. So the talent's always been there. I think you're right. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think it just needs the project to separate him from Spider-Man. And I think the Odyssey will probably be the trick. It'll probably do it. You're right.
It's really going to rebirth his career, as they say. Well, our next one, where Jurassic World Rebirth will be available on Peacock to stream starting October 31st. A nice little Halloween present. The movie earned, of course, $867 worldwide at the box office this summer, which is great for me because it's a part of my box office draft. It is the 7th film in the Jurassic series and the 4th installment of the current Jurassic World cycle. Now, Jurassic World Rebirth reboots the franchise that was expected to lay dormant after 2022's Jurassic World Dominion, which fucking sucked. Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey star in the sequel as wholly original characters, as director Gareth Edwards makes his own foray into the franchise. The film released in theaters on July 2nd, grossing about $147 million domestically at the box office across the 5-day holiday weekend. Now, this performance was part with Dominion, which grossed $145 million in 3 years prior across 3 days. But it did fall short, preceding Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World period, which opened at 148 million and 208 million in 2017 and 2014 respectively. Of course, that's pre-pandemic, so you can't really judge it like that. I always hate when they do that, when they compare films pre-pandemic and films post-pandemic. The time and the landscape has changed. Kids are fucking weird, okay? So I'm excited though, because I enjoyed this film and it was way better than that Dominion crap. So I'm excited to watch Rebirth again, because Scarlett Johansson, I feel like, is going to do well leading this franchise with Jonathan Bailey, of course.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, could have it been a little better? Yes. Could have it been much worse? Yes. But overall, to rebirth it, I think it was good. I think it was a good launch, and I'm right there with you. Taylor Swift, guys. T-Swift. Who's shat? No, kidding. She's been tapped apparently as the sole guest on Late Night with Seth Meyers on October 8th. Shortly, of course, after her new album, The Life of a Showgirl, was released today. Today, as we're recording the show, right now, today, Swift's appearance is being referred to as the Takeover, with the singer scheduled to have a sit-down conversation with Meyers. Now, as we previously told you, well, let me first say that she's been previously visited Studio 8G for interviews in 2014 and 2021. But as we previously told you last week, this will be Swift's second late night appearance following the release of the album. As we previously told you, she'll return to The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, of course, on October 6th. That episode will also feature Kerry Russell and a musical performance by The Format. Have you listened to it yet?
No, not at all. I don't care.
No. So let me just say this. Here it comes. Direct the hate. I have several dozen people that are like hardcore T-Swift fans. Like hardcore. Like can't get enough of her. She's the end all be all. Not happy with the album.
They all sound the same.
Said they only can find a couple songs that they really like, and then there's a few that they just don't. And I have been saying this and saying this and saying this. The second she becomes happy, done. People want to hear her write shit about how unhappy and miserable she is. Happy, it don't work. There's literally a song on here, y'all, called Wood. Yeah, it's about Kelsey's wood. Do we want that? I don't want to hear a song about Kelsey's wood. I don't care. Like, nobody, say it what you will. I don't know if this album is going to do what everybody thinks it's going to do, but no. That's going to be a great topic on his podcast, though, because no way that his brother won't rail him for that. No way.
Right.
No way. I would. I'd be like, bro, you know.
What the hell? Yeah, completely.
And if it crashes, if it doesn't work out, what's she going to do? Write a song saying she was kidding? Because apparently it praises the wood. Like it's... I don't know, man.
Okay, all right. Anyway, Saturday Night Live has added 7 new writers ahead of season 51. The new scribes include actor-writer Jack Bensinger from Rap World, stand-up comedian Joe Sunday from Just for Laughs, comic Maddie Weiner from The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, and actor-writer Michelle Pegram from Harley Quinn, writer-comedian Claire McFadden from Second City, and Maxwell Gay and Tucker Foldman, two newcomers from the Harvard Lampoon. They love the Harvard Lampoon over at 30 Rock. Plus, August White has left SNL, if y'all didn't know. They left the writing staff. Ahead of the new season, SNL also added a handful of new cast members as a slew of familiar faces have departed the show. Of course, Heidi Gardner exited the series after 8 seasons, and Ego Nwodim announced her exit after 7. Also gone from the show are Michael Longfellow, Devin Walker, Emil Wachim, and please don't destroy John Higgins, that's for sure, as Martin Hurley moves to the writer's staff and Ben Marshall joins the main cast. SNL returns for season 51 on October 4th, tonight, the night of this release, with host Faboni. The musical desk, Doja Cat, on October 11th. Amy Poehler is coming back to Studio 8H to host alongside musical act Role Model. And October 18th, it's going to be Sabrina Carpenter pulling double duty as host and musical guest. So that's freaking exciting, man. And love SNL. Super excited for it to be back. That's for sure.
I predict Sabrina Carpenter's episode will do very well in the ratings. All right.
I agree.
Are you one of the people that chooses to watch SNL the next day on, say, YouTube, Google, anywhere like that? You're in luck. You're still going to be able to do it, apparently. NBC Universal and Google have reached a multi-year distribution agreement to keep NBC and NBCU's suite of other networks on YouTube TV. In addition to the current NBCU slate, under YouTube TV's new renewal deal, the streaming service will carry the newly relaunched NBC Sports Network. NBCU said that the new NBCSN, to launch later this fall, will complement the prominent sports properties presented year-round already on the NBC Broadcast Network. The company, of course, if you didn't hear, had previously shut down NBCSN in 2021. Now, the full agreement continues YouTube TV's carriage of NBC Universal's full portfolio of networks, meaning you can still find all your favorite NBC, Bravo, CNBC, Golf Channel, E, Oxygen True Crime, MSNBC, USA, Sci-Fi, Telemundo, and Universal shows. It's fine. They're all still there. In addition, the NBC Google deal calls for Peacock to be available in the coming months as a subscription through YouTube primetime channels, the platform of third-party subscription offering. So just more consolidation. We've been talking about this forever, about how we think eventually you're going to find all your streamers in one spot. And you just click on it, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's consolidating, that's for sure. The industry is doing what we predicted. Oh, wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, we too are like the Simpsons. We get it right too.
literally. Lionsgate, Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, which combines both Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2, will receive its first ever nationwide theatrical release on December 5th from Lionsgate. Now, the rollout will include presentations in 70mm and 35mm, which plans to play in all major markets. Now, The Whole Bloody Affair removes the cliffhanger from the ending of Kill Bill Volume 1 and the recap opener of Kill Bill Volume 2. Only makes sense. Bringing the pair together as a single cohesive storyline. This release will also include a never-before-seen 7.5-minute animated sequence.
Ooh.
Now, as somebody who hasn't seen either of these films, I want to check this out in the theater if it comes down here.
Okay, I'm going to say right now, don't watch them then.
No?
Go see them like this, because Tarantino has said numerous times in the past, it was his intention to shoot it as all one film. When he wrote it, when he was going to shoot it, when he put it all together, it was always meant to be one ass long film. So I would say watch it the way he intended it to be, as opposed, not that the first two aren't phenomenal. I mean, they're great films,
Right.
but I like the idea of just getting rid of the cliffhanger, getting rid of the recap, and saying this is how I intended it to be. Yeah, I can't wait for you to watch it because shit, man, it's one of my favorites of all time.
Nice.
Yeah, A24 in a competitive situation, and we're not talking about the smashing machine. A24 has boarded hotel. No, it's really just hotel. The sci-fi thriller from Together writer-director Michael Shanks. Now, Shanks, who wrote the script that appeared on the 2021 Blacklist, will also direct and produce. Now, the sci-fi thriller follows a man who wakes up trapped in a mysterious hotel room. All alone in a mind-bending prison, his only chance for escape is teamwork with himself. A24 moved fast to make sure it was the home of the film and are now moving fast to get it up and running as Shanks begins the casting process. That sounds interesting. I'll do it. I'll be that guy. It is going to take somebody like really badass though to be able to like, be in his own head trapped and kind of playing with himself, That didn't come out right.
Yeah,
we'll just move on. Hotel. Coming soon.
Hotel. I do think A24 is like, that story sounds weird. Let's make it.
No, absolutely.
Absolutely. I get it, man. Like, it's fun. It's out there. It's outside of the box. And, even if the film is, like, not rewatchable, which is a big thing for me specifically, but even if it's not rewatchable, it's original. It's different. And that's really all we can ask for from Hollywood and the entertainment industry. So, I mean, you've seen Together, and, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't rewatch that one. I also wouldn't rewatch The Smashing Machine. But
we'll get there.
But they took a shot on it. They
did. And now Amazon MGM Studios, Ron Howard has come on to direct the drama, also known as Alone at Dawn, with Adam Driver and Anne Hathaway set to star. That's
okay.
An cast. Amazon will release the film in theaters. Good. The project falls under Amazon MGM's recently renewed first look deal with Brian Grazer and Ron Howard's Entertainment. Good. The film is based on a book of the same name that by Dan Schilling and Laurie Chapman. Long Fritz, what a name, and is inspired by the incredibly true story. We love true stories. Year after Air Force combat controller John Chapman fought to the death to save his fellow soldiers. An intelligence officer strives to prove his valor, leading an investigation that ultimately would secure him the Medal of Honor. Schilling is a military consultant on the movie and, like Chapman, also was a combat control technician. Now, Chapman Long Fritz is Chapman's sister. Yeah, very cool. I mean, the story sounds fun. We love war flicks. I mean, if it's coming from a historically amazing director, I think this one's going to be a hit already. Calling it now.
Oh, yeah, without doubt. I mean, fuck, and like you said, that's an interesting cast, man. I wonder if it's going to be like shot in like flashback stuff where Adam Driver's playing the pilot that died and Hathaway, obviously the wife, trying to get him his due.
I mean, before we move on, is this his first ever military flick? Because I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know, but I mean, Adam Driver was in the Marines, so I wonder. That right there gets me excited because he's probably going to bring a lot of real life situation into this role.
Maybe that's interesting. I don't know. We'll have to consult the Bible and look that one up.
Yeah.
Aldous Hodge, I'm a huge fan of Aldous Hodge. He's set to join Jake Gyllenhaal in the sequel to Roadhouse for Amazon MGM Studios. As we told you before, Dave Bautista and Leela George are already joined on the cast of this one, with Isla Nishuler. I'm going to go with Nishuler. She's directing it. Will Beal wrote the script. Plot details for the sequel are being kept under wraps, but Gyllenhaal will return as he was in the first one as ex-UFC fighter who takes a job and is a bouncer in the Florida Keys Roadhouse. Now, Doug Liman directed. Hodge and Amazon, of course, have a strong following of ties together with the success of the first season of Alex Cross. The second season of that is set to bow next year, with Hodge set to return as the iconic detective. I like him, and I was worried about that reboot, but I actually liked it. So I'm in on this one. I think okay, let's find out. Let's see.
And it's all about being open-minded. That's for sure. That's for sure. Well, Stephen James has signed on to star opposite of Anthony Impato in I Play Rocky for Amazon MGM Studios film, looking at the making of the 1977 Best Picture winner Rocky. Now, in the film, directed by Academy Award winner Peter Farrelly, which is being made for theatrical release, James will play the role of Carl Weathers, Sylvester Stallone's co-star in the boxing franchise, of course, which he was architected. The previously announced Apollo is set to star the role of young Stallone. I Play Rocky tells the true story of an unknown actor with an unshakable belief that he wasn't meant to write Rocky, just wasn't meant to write Rocky, but he was meant to be Rocky Balboa. Told no one ever turn, Stallone bets everything on himself, holding the line and playing the lead against seemingly impossible odds. The result is the ultimate underdog story, and obviously cultural phenomena. It grossed about $1.7 billion between the original films and, of course, the Creed spinoffs all together. Very exciting, man. I love this type of stuff. It reminds me of like The Offer and different films like that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If this is anywhere half as good as like what The Offer was, which was the making of The Godfather, I'm all in on this. What I don't like about this, and I'm still kind of pissed, is how they stole Rocky basically right out from underneath Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. He's not involved with the ownership anymore. He's not in and it was a close friend that he trusted that basically ripped it away from him. And that's just bullshit. He is fucking Rocky. I don't think Literally. You can, and it's going to be sad that we can't have him involved in this because, you're going to have to take it from old archives of interviews of what he said about making it because you can't. Yeah. I'm sure he wouldn't cooperate with it. So, I mean, and I don't blame him. Pom Klimfith, you like her? I love her. And pro wrestler turned Adam Copeland, actor turned actor Adam. He didn't turn into Adam Copeland, he just turned into an actor. What is wrong with us today? Are starring as Jason Statham in The Beekeeper 2. Statham is returning as the Beekeeper, a former government assassin who comes out of retirement in quest for revenge. Now, Emmy Raver Lapman, Bobby Naderi, Gemma Redgrave, and Jeremy Irons will also reprise their roles for the sequel to the action conspiracy thriller, which features Yara Shandi as a new addition to the Buzzy cast. Buzzy, get it? Beekeeper. Plot details about The Beekeeper 2, which will be distributed worldwide by Amazon MGM Studios and produced and financed by Miramax, which nobody likes to say anymore. That's why we say it's a Amazon MGM. It's being kept under wraps, of course, but it is apparently now filming. It's in production. It's good to go. Everything's rolling. So, yeah.
There it is, man. And I mean, speaking of Jeremy Irons, the actor is the latest bold-faced name to join the cast of Highlander, Amazon MGM's remake of the 1980s cult classic, of course. Now, the luminous call has Henry Cavill leading the cast that already includes Russell Crowe, Marissa Abdel, Dave Bautista, Karen Gillan, Damon Hosnu, always get his name wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Production was to start in the late September, early October, but it was pushed back after Cavill sustained an injury during pre-production. Now production, it will begin in early 2026. Jeremy Irons is everywhere, man.
Yeah, he really is. And Cavill posted a picture. His rehab's coming along pretty well, so I think they'll make that start early next year to get it going. That's a huge cast, man, and I love that Batista and Karen Gillan are together again. We're just bringing in all kinds of freaking Guardians of the Galaxy and the Highlander. It's fine.
Right.
Let's jump on over to Netflix, where they released the first trailer for Jay Kelly, starring George Clooney and Adam Sandler. The film from director Noah Baumbach follows famous movie actor Jay Kelly, a.k.a. George Clooney, and his devoted manager Ron, played by Adam Sandler, as they embark on a whirlwind and unexpectedly profound journey through Europe. Now, along the way, both men are forced to confront the choices they've made, the relationships with their loved ones, and the legacies they'll leave behind. Baumbach and Emily Mortimer, oh, wow, okay. They penned the script. Love Emily Mortimer, great actress also. The all-star ensemble cast also includes Laura Dern, Billy Crudup, yeah, oh, Riley Keough, Grace Edwards, Stacy Keach, Jim Broadbent, Patrick Wilson, holy shit, Greta Gerwig, Josh Hamilton, Ann Mortimer, good, because she's a great actress. Nicole Leckie, Thadia Graham, Isla Fisher, did Paps and Eric cast this thing? And Charlie Rowe. Jay Kelly marks the second feature under Baumbach's multi-year deal to write and direct films for Netflix. He previously adapted the Don DeLillo novel White Noise into a feature for the streamer. The film starred Gerwig, Adam Driver, and Don Cheadle, and was released in 2022 on Netflix after playing the Venice Film Festival and New York Film Festival. That sounds like a fucking epic cast. So, sure, I'm in. Shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're already saying that one's going to be another Oscar contender as well. So
Makes sense.
Is very freaking exciting.
Except
speaking of other Oscar contenders, a new trailer of Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein includes a closer look at Jacob Elordi's resurrected monster, who has been kept heavily cloaked in the previously revealed footage. Along with Elordi, the new trailer also features additional looks at Oscar Isaac as Victor von Frankenstein and Mia Goth as Elizabeth Lavenza, the mad scientist bride-to-be, as well as the film's various lavish fantasy sets, from the harbored ship that in the frozen ocean that was well-attended ballroom party as well. Guillermo del Toro had been developing a Frankenstein adaptation for decades before Netflix ultimately issued a green light. Now Netflix is giving Frankenstein a limited awards qualifying theatrical release on October 17th, with a streaming debut to follow on November 7th. So yes, very freaking excited about that one as well.
Are you? I wasn't impressed with the trailer. I had concerns about concerns about Jacob Elordi as Frankenstein, and I was waiting, and then I saw it, and my concerns were valid, in my opinion. I don't think he can, especially after seeing The Bride and Christian Bale as Frankenstein, even though two totally different films. This one didn't impress me. Sorry. This is an interesting one. The next one, a new 3-part documentary series starring Zayn Malik and Louis Tomlinson of One Direction, is headed to Netflix. The former bandmates embarked on a road trip across America that is described as a spontaneous adventure complete with reconnection, exploration, and a lot of laughter. Now, per an official press release, the series is meant to give fans of the stars a rare look inside the worlds of two of the most private former One Direction members. Across 3 episodes, Malik and Tomlinson engage in intimate conversations about life, love, loss, and fatherhood. This comes after the death, of course, of their former bandmate Liam Payne, who died in October of last year in Argentina at the age of 31. I like this. There's, I can imagine. I know our road trips and our conversations that we have are always amazing. So, the two of them together and just talking about life and probably talking about that loss. I think it's going to be an interesting little 3-episode thing. I really do.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that took the world by surprise. So yeah, it's going to be entertaining. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Well, Netflix has ordered a new young adult drama series titled Poser from Lauren Lunrich. Poser is an 8-episode, 1-hour drama series that explores toxic female friendships through the lens of sexy and emotional thrillers. Per Netflix, the show is centered on 2 estranged former best friends, according to the logline, when one of them is given a chance to live up to the life that she's long coveted and maybe get answers to why they fell out years ago. She finds herself in a psychological game of revenge, betrayal, and heartbreak, ultimately altering their lives and those around them forever. Poser joins Netflix's young adult programming, which also includes, of course, Jenna Ortega starring smash hit Wednesday and the sci-fi phenomenon Stranger Things, and the more popular teen drama Outer Banks as well. So if anything that Netflix can get right, it's teenage angst. That's for sure.
That's true. That's true. And just from the description, you can tell she's a total poser. So, I mean, the name
Yeah,
fits. It's going to be
exactly.
great. It's going to be great. All right. Rounding this bad boy up with Apple, we're jumping with Marty. You know who we're talking about. That's all you have to say, Marty. Martin Scorsese contemplates good versus evil in the first trailer for Mr. Scorsese, Rebecca Miller's 5-part Apple TV Plus docuseries on the visionary director. Who are we? Are we intrinsically good or evil? This is the struggle, and I struggle with it all the time. That's what Scorsese opens it with in a voiceover as clips from the most famous works, including Taxi Driver and Raging Bull, flash on the screen. Where are we going? What stories do we want to tell? I knew I could express myself in pictures. I love it. Pictures. I love it. But I had to find my own way. Premiering October 17th on Apple TV+, Mr. Scorsese promises an intimate and richly layered examination of one of cinema's most influential and enigmatic figures, featuring never-before-seen footage and in-depth interviews with those closest to him. Stars and collaborators featured in the docuseries will include Bobby De Niro, Daniel Day-Lewis, Leo DiCaprio, Mick Jagger, Robbie Robertson, Thelma Shoemaker, and of course Steven Spielberg, Sharon Stone, Jodie Foster, Paul Schrader, Margot Robbie, Kate Blanchett, Jay Cox, and Rodrigo Prieto, along with his children, his wife Helen Morris, and close childhood friends. I fucking cannot wait. You know me. I'm huge. I'm all about the story. He's one of my inspirations. He's one of my guys. He's like a director that I look up to, and I know he is for you too because of his collaborations with Leo, and he's just brilliant. And you clearly in that trailer right there, it's all about the story. It's all about the story. I love it.
So excited. Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's going to be freaking awesome. Like I saw a clip or two from it on YouTube,
Yeah.
and like apparently one of the studios that he was working for, I'm sure it was for his earlier work, like they were trying to tone down his violence, tone down like the way he portrayed things.
Yeah.
To the point where like it was driving him a little crazy, where he got a gun and he was going to go like fuck some people up or at least scare them to where he would get what he wanted. But
Yeah.
then I think it was in Taxi Driver where like they didn't want the violence to be so crazy, so he just toned down the blood in Taxi Driver, that final end scene, to where it made it a little bit more brown instead of red,
Right.
and they were okay with that. So many different behind the scenes stories I feel like that we're gonna find out like that.
Without
right?
that, and what a compromise. He's like, fuck you, I'm not getting rid of the blood. I'll change the color.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make it a little bit different color so people will chill out, but fuck you. And it was Spielberg, by the way, who called him up, said, Marty, you can't fucking go in there with a gun, bro. You're not this, like, it's not real gangster shit. Calm down. What can we do, you know? So yeah, it's those type stories that should inspire young filmmakers, right? Like, yeah, it's amazing. And how key is color,
Yes.
guys.
Yeah, exactly. There needs to be some sort of documentary about this group of filmmakers in the new age of Hollywood, with Coppola, with George Lucas, with Steven Spielberg, with Martin Scorsese. There needs to be a documentary about that group of filmmakers who was creating and pushing the boundaries in that day and age. Or if there's one out there, please let us know. But yeah, like I just feel like the collaborative group that is those four filmmakers, like especially in their younger years, I feel like that would be so interesting to watch.
Dennis Hopper's in that group as well.
Hopper, yeah.
And it was the era of new Hollywood, and these were the guys that were leading new Hollywood, doing it different. And I love it. Yeah, I just we'll make the documentary. I mean,
Right.
a lot of the Peter Bogdanovich and stuff. So we've lost some of them, but the ones that are still alive, I'd interview. I mean, shit. The new Hollywood was such a drastic changing point in the direction of how Hollywood went. It's basically right after the studio system broke down. What we were used to of old Hollywood, classic Hollywood, and the studio system and the control, it was these renegade young guys going, this is the new Hollywood. We're doing it our way, and kind of broke boundaries. And like, yeah, just an incredible time.
So good, man. So good. Well, we're rounding out this industry news with the Peanuts gang. That's right. They are staying at Apple TV Plus. I know everybody's excited about that. With inking a 5-year deal extending with Charlie Brown and the Friends until the 2030 year, man. That's crazy. Apple originally started programming original Peanuts programming back in 2018 with the fleeting Apple TV Plus becoming the home of the entire Peanuts library in 2020. Now, the extension marks an expansion of the partnership between Apple and WildBrain, Peanuts Worldwide, and Lee Mendelson Film Productions. Original Peanut shows on Apple TV Plus include Camp Snoopy, Snoopy Presents All the Small Things, It's the Small Things, Charlie Brown, this Peanuts in Space, Secrets Apollo 10, Charlie Brown's Big Pumpkin, Charlie Brown's Christmas.
Oh yeah, all the classics are there too. Yeah.
So yeah, very freaking exciting, man. I know everybody watches it, especially the holiday season's coming around. So yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I mean, yeah, if you're not watching a Charlie Brown Christmas, or it's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, and Thanksgiving, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, these are, like, you have to watch them to have it be the holiday season. And thankfully Apple's like, we got you, like, because man, can't imagine that. Literally my entire 55 years, I have watched them. All 55 years, well, it'll be 55 this time, but for 54 previous years, I have watched them. You have to.
It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy.
I know, I'm old.
Now it's time for our top 5 segment, man. And we're in fall. It is October, so it's only right.
What? Yeah.
What? It is top 5 spooky season films, whether horror, whether family friendly, whether all these good things.
Yes.
Man, oh man. Super freaking excited about that. And with that being said, it is now time to announce our announcement. Our big announcement for Halloween night. We will be doing something a little crazy. Right, Dustin?
Absolutely. Have you guys heard? We're filmmakers. And we have a film. And it's a little scary. It's scary because it's real life. So we figured what better time to re-release this thing. Yes, we're going to re-release it in case you missed it. If you weren't a part of our premiere, if you didn't catch it on the big screen, if you weren't able to watch it on Vimeo behind the paywall or anywhere, or if you just want to find out for the first time ever what it's all about, we are going to be re-releasing this. I'm really excited about this because we feel like kind of where we're at in the country right now and everything that we're kind of going through and all of the kind of stuff. This is a really powerful, engaging, make you want to start a conversation type films that we think you're going to really enjoy. So we're super excited about this, right?
Yeah, most definitely. So excited that we have a little teaser trailer for you. So check this out right here, right now. Deadlines coming out Halloween.
I know, but you're not the one who had to do this. God.
Answer me! Don't leave me in the dark!
Spooky stuff, right? Oh my goodness, super excited about it. We even made sure that you couldn't watch it before Halloween. I took it off or put it on private for the YouTube channel. So, stay tuned. Halloween night, we'll be promoting it. It'll be re-released, all the good things. So, yes, super excited about that. Anyway, jumping into our top 5 spooky season films. Man, oh man, what was your approach to your list?
Films that legit scared the shit out of me. Modern day horror films, nothing. I get nothing. The jump scares, I laugh at. Nothing has moved. But these films These films on my list, and maybe it's because I was younger when I was watching them and probably shouldn't have been watching them at the age that I watched them, but they legit scared the shit out of me. So that is why they are on my list. They are indeed spooky. A couple of them still scare me. Still.
Yeah, I get that.
I
There's
mean,
some on your list that scare me
just
too.
saying.
For sure. I approached it more in the sense of because I include, Halloween in the holiday season.
Sure,
So I approach it with some scary, some family friendly that just enjoy the atmosphere that is Halloween.
What if mine's family friendly? It's a camping trip at a beautiful lake. Come on.
Yeah,
It's family friendly.
For sure. Oh my gosh. Anyway, number 5 for me goes to a recently adaptation of Dracula. I'm talking about Nosferatu. This came out a year or two ago. I really enjoyed it. This is very polarizing. A lot of people didn't. A lot of people did. But from the filmmaking aspect, it was awesome. The camera shots, the dark grittiness, the psychological aspect that it plays on our lead character. But Nosferatu, I think, is a film that we don't really get a lot anymore. And it's kind of that gothic telling of, the Dracula story, or just like kind of gothic filmmaking in general. We don't really see a lot of that anymore because that's more like, I guess, late 80s, early 90s type of filmmaking. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Johnny Depp's daughter, who was
Lily Rose.
Yeah, she was in it. And Lex Luthor, he was our main guy. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. I know, like I said, it's very mixed bag, but I recommend it. So number 5 for me, Nosferatu.
Oh, dude, I love it. And yeah, I agree with you. I think we need to kind of bring it back to that style, that type of filmmaking when we talk about horror films, right? I think it's so critically important to be able to tell stories in that manner. My number 5. My number 5, you guys, it's terrifying, and it makes me still, whenever I walk into an antique store and I see one of these things, it scares the shit out of me because of this movie. I'm talking about Magic. Magic came out in 1978. I was 8 years old watching this movie, and I regret it still to this day. This one is about a ventriloquist who's clearly very mentally disturbed. And his puppet, it's a killer. It's a killer, but it's him. Right? But he thinks it's real. He thinks but it's actually him. It's both Fats and our puppeteer, right? Corky, played by the brilliant Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, y'all. And I swear to you, this movie is the reason why they were like, when they made Silence of the Lambs, they're like, Anthony Hopkins, let's just go get him. Because this movie is terrifying, y'all. It's terrifying. He's basically trying to rekindle a relationship with his high school sweetheart, but he's so mentally gone, and he's doing all this crazy stuff. But the reason it works for me, and the reason I still can't watch it at night, I have to have lights on and shit, the fucking puppet is scary as shit. The face is terrifying. It's one of those old school creepy. When we do this on YouTube, I want you to put the picture of that puppet's face, and people will see what I'm talking about. Put the picture of the puppet's face. Fucking Fats is terrifying. And I can't. If I like walk in someplace and it's dark and there's like a puppet sitting in that chair or something, I just like, gotta walk around the other way. Magic. Trust me, if you want to be scared, Magic. It's Burgess Meredith is in this thing. Anne Margaret is in. I mean, it's a phenomenal cast. But Hopkins, just, man, the duality between, the puppeteer and his puppet and the fucking mental instability craziness, just incredible. Magic, yo. Trust me. I
had never even heard of that film, so yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. That's awesome.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. I just hold on. I have to. Look at this creepy motherfucker.
No, yeah, he is kind of creepy.
No, and that's when he's nice. This is before he starts to become the kid. That is a creepy dude. If you saw that sitting in a chair in your bedroom in the dark, you'd never sleep again. And I didn't for like a couple of years. I'm just saying.
That's so
Creepy
funny.
as shit, bro.
Anyway, my number 4 goes to a lighter Halloween movie, and I'm talking about Halloween Town.
Ooh,
Halloween
yeah,
Town,
yeah.
one of the iconic Disney films that they released on Disney Channel back in the day, and they created their whole little franchise off of this property. So yeah, I mean, it's very family friendly, you know, witches, warlocks, ghouls, all these things. There's a little town where all of them can live and reside and, you know, learn how to be themselves and be surrounded by people who accept them for who they are. And I think that's what this whole idea and thought process is behind this film. Even if you're a witch, aka a bitch, even if you're a warlock, aka dick, maybe you can, you know, find some common ground and not be that way all the way, and you know, have some love and friendship and things like that. But yeah, Halloween Town, really the whole franchise, but the first one is the must need to watch because it's just fun, man. It's fun that you can watch with the little itty bitty kids. So yeah, number 4 for me, Halloween Town.
Good choice. Good choice. I do like that you've peppered in some lighter ones, right? Because you know, I I sadly did not. My number 4 is terrifying for many reasons, but probably the most terrifying is because it's fucking real story. It's a true story, which makes it even more terrifying. My number 4 is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I'm talking about the '74 original, because they've redone this thing several dozen times, and in my opinion, never works the way it acts. So the '74 is terrifying. If you're unfamiliar with this story, it's basically about these 5 kids. They're going to visit, they're on a road trip to Texas, and they're going to visit their grandfather's grave. And they come across this like house that looks deserted, and of course, you know, they're 5 teenagers on the way you road trip. Like, hey, let's check out the spooky house. But they quickly come to find out that this is not a abandoned, deserted house. This is a house that the inhabitants that live in it are cannibals. And they kidnap and kill people and slice them up with the chainsaw and eat them. This really happened. This was going on in Texas in 1974. Real true story. It's kind of like what you were talking about with your number 5, Nosferatu, in the sense that it's very gritty, it's grainy, it's dark. The way it's shot is in itself makes you feel intense, makes you feel kind of uneasy and on edge. And then obviously as the story unfolds and you find out what's happening and what's really going on, you're like, oh, fuck. And I mean, it makes you never want to take a road trip in Texas at night ever. You know, which we've done numerous times, and it does feel like you are trapped in Texas forever while you're driving through it at night. And if you had to stop and get a guy with a fucking chainsaw and somebody's face on his face, no. And again, when this one came out, I was 4, but I waited to watch it until I was like 10. But still, 10-year-olds should not be watching this film. You should just don't watch this film at 10. It's creepy as fuck. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Scary. My number 4. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No. Elon Musk brought back nightmares of this. When he's up there with Doge and the chainsaw, I'm like, oh shit, no. No.
That's so funny. Oh man. Well, my number 3 goes to Halloween. That's right. Michael Myers. How can we have these lists without mentioning Michael Myers?
No, you
and
can't.
Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, like, it's such an epic storyline. And if y'all didn't know, Michael Myers and Halloween actually have 5 that's what that is.
How many was that? 5.
Yeah, 5 different universes, which is crazy.
Yeah,
like,
what?
There's the original, obviously, straight through, and then you have like the third film that came out is its own individual thing. And I mean, I don't even remember the other ones. Obviously, the first one and then the new iterations that just came out a couple years ago.
Yep.
But yeah, it's kind of crazy how many different iterations there are of franchises or universes there are of this Halloween franchise. And I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is in a lot of them, which is It's kind of funny. You have to look up the lore, but the Halloween franchise is one of those films that is bigger than life itself, especially back in the day. But yeah, it's freaking epic. The first one, though, that's the one that you need to watch. The first one, young Jamie Lee, so good, so good. Yeah, number 3 for me, the original Halloween.
Yes, and Jamie Lee Curtis following in her mama's footsteps. I mean, she became the modern day, back then, 70s modern day, the new Hollywood scream queen, because obviously her mom was the go-to, the OG scream queen with Psycho. But yeah, it only made sense that Jamie Lee would be in it. But she does it so brilliantly. I don't think the original Halloween works without her, in my opinion. It really,
Agreed.
I mean, I think it just is what makes it work. And little known fact, did you spring the trivia on him? The Mask, William Shatner.
Yep.
It's a mold of a Captain Kirk mask, William Shatner. If you didn't know, now go back and watch it and go, shit, yeah, that does look like Jim. Like, what the fuck? No joke. My number 3 it's a family film. It's a family film. It's about a group of friends going to hang out at a lake, Camp Crystal Lake. It's beautiful. It's fun. They're teenagers. They're going to have a little fun, drink, have a little sex, a little... No. Camp Crystal Lake, y'all. It's a little bit more terrifying. I'm, of course, talking about Friday the 13th, where this group of people go to the lake. Everybody thinks everything's fine. And then they start dying. They start dying. People get chopped up, mutilated, killed. Again, this one, 1980, I was 10. And I was 10 watching it. Shouldn't have. My main theme of my list is don't watch these as kids. It's the original. It was kind of groundbreaking in the sense of, because it's one of the first times where I think what makes it so scary is the idea of the killer. You don't really see the killer. I know what people are saying right now. It's like, what are you talking about? You see Jason, you see, the mask and all of that. No, you don't. If you watch the original Friday the 13th, Jason's not in it, y'all. Mom is the killer. Jason's mom is the killer. Voorhees doesn't show up until the second one. So yeah, I think a little piece of trivia for you there. The first one is mom taking out revenge for her son dying. And so Friday the 13th, yeah, I just liked the idea because I thought it was very creative storytelling in the sense that it's the idea of the killer. You never know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and who is it? Who is this person doing this, And it was only revealed way later after that because so many people continue to this day to be confused that Jason is the killer in the first one. No. So my number 3, Friday the 13th.
Oh, good
original.
Pick, man. Good pick. Yes, original. Love
Yes.
it. I love it. Number 2 for me is a double-edged sword, as they say.
Ooh.
It is Hocus Pocus. That's right, 1 and 2, really. I mean, the first one is a classic, of course, another Disney film. But then when they brought it back for a sequel all those years later, it lived up to the hype, and it was very fun, very entertaining, just like the first one is. But it's definitely one of those that I pick every year to rewatch. And even tonight we're looking for a rewatch, so it might be Hocus Pocus, the first one. But yeah, man, I love this film. It's so fun. The cast is amazing. The 3 witches are amazing. The song is amazing. I think what this film brings is that family-friendly spookiness. It's kind of like a stepping stone horror film because there is some like horror moments, but it's not overall scary.
Yeah.
So I think it is a nice family-friendly horror film, I guess, if that's even a thing. But yeah, number 2 for me, Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, because they're both great.
No, they are. They are, absolutely. I mean, Bette Midler's kind of scary. Like,
especially in all that makeup.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, she's pretty creepy looking in that film, but it works. I'm just like, every time I think of Hocus Pocus, that's all I think about is Bette Midler, and she terrifies me, honestly. Yeah. She's not the wind beneath my wings, if you know what I'm saying. or the Rose. My number 2, and we watched this one together for the first time when you watched it, and come on, y'all. This one it's still scary. As a grown adult, it's still terrifying. How can it not be? I just want to get the year right on this bad boy, because yeah. What was I thinking all these years? Like, this one I obviously did not watch when it first came out, but a few years later. It's The Exorcist. Y'all, this is like the first real interpretation of, or I guess big screen Hollywood production interpretation of demonic possession. And Ellen Bernstein and little Linda Blair. How Linda Blair didn't just get effed up for the rest of her life playing this role after this movie. How she's able to go on into adulthood and actually like kind of make fun of this movie and do spoofs of this movie, I do not know. This movie is absolutely terrifying, y'all. It's about this young girl who is possessed by a demon, and they are trying to exorcise her. And the special effects at the time, I mean, when her head is spinning around and she's spewing all the stuff and she's levitating and slamming the bed up and down and everything, it's in my opinion, it was an Oscar-worthy performance by Ellen Bernstein, who plays her mother, and by Linda for that matter, for playing the daughter and being possessed. Again, I think this one goes back to it's terrifyingly creepy for me, because there are many instances of things like this happening. So, I don't want to be just all of a sudden I'm in a room and somebody ain't there anymore. It's like this demon talking to me kind of a thing. That the idea of that terrifies me. And if you are a believer in whatever it is, the divine or God or the universe or however you look at it, you have to be a believer in both the good and the bad. And so therefore demons must be real. And so again, this terrifies me. So The Exorcist. What did you think? Because the first time you watched it, it's like, again, it's one of those where it's not really a horror film, but it's terrifying, right? Like,
Yeah, it is scary. I mean, that's very well paced. You have to like sit down and pay attention. It's one of those that you can't be distracted at all, especially the first 20 minutes, because it's kind of like a leap stone into the overall story.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was like definitely well before its time. And then going back and listening to like what Went Wrong podcast about like the making of The Exorcist and how crazy of a fucking set that was.
Yeah.
Like trying to garner real scared emotion, like firing guns against people's heads, and like it's a crazy set. If y'all don't know, like go back and research what this film did to get made. But yeah, it's a crazy movie on and off screen.
Again, how Linda Blair and Ellen Bernstein didn't just end up cuckoo nuts. I don't know. I would have been like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. Yeah. My number 2, The Exorcist. And they had a few after it that just sucked, but they came back as a direct sequel to this one with Ellen Bernstein a couple of years back. And it's really good. It's worthy of, okay, this is a legit sequel. All the attempted remakes and all the crap in between just didn't work for me, but the revisit with Ellen Bernstein and a legit sequel worked. So I highly recommend checking out both. Yeah, The Exorcist, guys, number 2.
Very good, very good. Well, my number 1, I think it may have been my first horror movie that I've ever watched. Either this one or like Signs or Jeepers Creepers. All those 3 were like right in the same time period. But my number 1, it's probably still my favorite horror movie of all time. I'm not even gonna lie about it.
Really?
I'm talking about It. Tim Curry's It. I freaking love it, especially when we get to the adult years. My favorite scene overall is when they're in the library and Pennywise is in the library and the balloon pops and everybody gets blood on them. It's freaking great. But Tim Curry, he is an actor well beyond his years when he's making this film, when he's making Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like, he is highly underrated, and not a lot of people talk about him anymore. But yeah, I love freaking Tim Curry's It. It was originally a television movie.
That's
if
right.
A lot of people don't know. But we had the DVD where you had to flip it for the second act or for the second timeline, because now obviously with the new iteration with Bill Skarsgård, it's obviously set into two different films.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites, man. I try to watch it as much as I can if I can find it places. But yeah, number one for me, Tim Curry's version.
There you go. I absolutely love it. My number one, also a Stephen King adaptation. And oddly enough, for all you cinephiles out there and film buffs out there, Stephen hated it. He was not a fan of it. He said, yeah, no, that's not exactly how I would have envisioned it. I'm like, what? Because it's one of the single greatest horror films ever, and most people agree that is true. So why Stephen didn't like it, I don't know. I'm talking about The Shining, y'all. Fuck, The Shining. There are so many parts of that film. And again, I watched this as a kid. You should not be watching this as a kid. But there are moments in this film that it's basically the story's about a guy that's a little bit mentally unstable to begin with, and then what isolation does, what being alone and unable to communicate with the outside world basically kind of takes you down this creepy ass path of what happens. And he's a caretaker at a hotel. There's a blizzard, there's a storm, it's closed, and they're there stuck. And it's him and his wife and his son. And then, like I said, he's already, you can tell, clearly a little bit not mentally stable to begin with. And then it just starts to spiral out of control, man. And the moments are when you can see him starting to lose his shit. And the bathtub scene where he goes into the one room and it's the creepy ass dead woman. She looks beautiful at first and she's naked and he's all like, ooh. And then you see her and shit, just horrifying terror when you're a kid. You're like, oh my God, no, never want to walk in on a naked woman ever again. No. And then the moment when you see the twins in the hallway, just like I never want to be alone in a hotel hallway again. Just those two girls forever creep me out. And then of course you've got the moment where Danny is taken by The Shining, and he's doing the warning, right? Red rum, red rum, red rum. That you hear that forever for like the next 4 years in your head. Red rum, red rum. And when his mom's trying to comfort him, Danny's not here anymore, Mrs. Torrance. What the fuck? That's when I started freaking out. I'm like, what's he mean Danny's not? That is Danny. What's he mean Danny's not here? And then the ending, obviously, the frozen Jack in the maze with the face and the icicles and his creepy ass smile, and just like, it's a terrifying movie, y'all. It's terrifying. It's got some of the most epic one-liners and scenes, when he's bashing through the door and I'm just going to bash your fucking head in, kind of, it's classic. It's terrifying. It is a Halloween ritual for me. I don't know why. I still force myself to sit through it. The Shining, man, The Shining. It's, I don't know. I still am just engaged and conflicted and just have so many emotions about this film.
Does Ewan McGregor's sequel live up to what that one was? Because I still haven't seen that one.
Yes and no. For anybody who doesn't know, it's Danny grown up. Yeah. There are moments I feel like it could have, but it did kind of let me down a little bit. I feel like the explanation that Steven always gave about The Shining is that it wasn't a direct interpretation of the book. He felt it like missed some elements. That's my explanation for the sequel. I felt like it missed some elements that if put into the film would have made it a better film. I get it, filmmakers have to take creative liberties in some things they think will or won't work on screen or whatever, but I think it needed certain elements from the book that it didn't have. So it was a good movie, I don't think it ever lived up to the hype of what The Shining was, though. Like, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, we want to know, what is your favorite spooky season movie? Please be sure to comment down below in the YouTube comment section. All you witches, goblins, and ghouls, please be sure. We love the fan interaction. So yes, we love it. We love it. Heading over to the box office recap this week, man. Oh my goodness. Well, last week, I should say, that's why it's called recap. One Battle After Another, of course, came in at number 1 with $22 million. Gabby's Dollhouse, the movie, came in at number 2 with $14 million. Demon Slayer came in at number 3 with $7.1 million. Conjuring Last Rites came in at number 4 with $6.8. And number 5 was Strangers Chapter 2 with $5.8 million. And then, of course, new movies coming out this weekend are The Smashing Machine. We have Bone Lake. We have Anonymity. Daniel Day-Lewis coming out of retirement.
Yep.
For his son.
For his son, yeah. I just found that out. Like, I was today years old when I found out his son is that's directing it. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, it is. Then you got Taylor Swift, the official release party of a Showgirl, which is gonna end up being number 1.
Oh, without doubt.
$40 million. And then you have Avatar, The Way of Water re-releasing to get you ready for Fire and Ash. That is for sure. And then, of course, movies you can still go see are The Long Walk, Him, A Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, Downtown Abbey, the grand finale, and what is that dog horror movie coming out this weekend too? Good Boy, or is that next weekend?
I think that's next weekend. I think.
Yeah,
I think.
But yeah, that one looks crazy too. But
it does.
Okay, now it's time. You know, we can talk about it. I'm just gonna say it, Hollywood. You're overhyping One Battle After Another. Okay, sometimes we can be a little pretentious. Sometimes we can be a little film snobby. It's a good film. I really enjoyed it. I really love Leo. I really love Benicio del Toro. I really love Taylor. I really love the young actress that plays Leo's daughter. Like, great performances. Sean Penn. Oh my God, best performance in the film. But you're overhyping it. It's original. I love that. It's an original story, and that's probably why you're overhyping it. But it's not as good as everyone's saying it is. It's like a 2.5 hour, almost 3 hour movie, and yeah, I mean, that's just my opinion. Just saying.
I feel like you just described my opinion on The Smashing Machine.
Yeah,
it's overhyped. This one's a little over 2 hours long, and I felt like it was like closer to 3. It's the pacing is bad. There's anybody kind of going into it with expectations of like the Iron Claw or something. There's really not a lot of it's called The Smashing Machine, and we don't actually see a lot of him in the ring. And the problem with that is when we see him outside of the ring, it's underdeveloped. We're not like. There were things that are, I don't want to spoil it for people, but there are things that are referenced that I believe if you had shown instead of just referencing, it makes the film infinitely better. Infinitely better. There's a moment where it's a very dramatic retelling of something that happened. And the whole time I'm thinking, we should have seen that. We should, if we had seen that, so much more powerful. And that's my throughout. There are moments like that's my thought process. I'm like, okay, so they're telling us about that, but I wanted to see that. I wanted to like know more about that, dive deeper. There are plot points where I feel like all are underdeveloped. They don't tell enough of the story. Like if you look up and research him, there's that one, it's called The Smashing Machine because at one point towards the end of his career, he was beaten so badly that, you know, he had to have shit done to his eyes. And like, you know, there was a point where they thought he wasn't going to live. And then, or when he was going to be blind and never see again. And they just don't really. And I was disappointed because there's an interview where Dwayne is talking about how he had Benny. They were telling the guy that he was fighting, no, really hit me, really, because he's not going to cut away. I need you to really hit me. And it just wasn't that powerful. Even when he's really hitting him, I'm just like, this is what they were describing because this ain't moving me at all. Like, so Yeah, and then I'm just gonna say it. I think because you and I had talked about it, we were wondering why it's all Dwayne Johnson, it's all Dwayne Johnson, it's all Dwayne Johnson. Why is the film not? Well, now I know, because film's just not very good. And I'm gonna be honest. I think that Dwayne is getting all the Oscar talk because he's playing a role that he hasn't really done in the past. But if you're asking me personally, I don't think it's Oscar worthy. I just don't. In fact, I think he tries too hard with the voice because Kerr has a very distinct voice. It's very and there are certain points where I think he's trying so hard it almost, for me, became comedic. I was thinking he sounds like Rain Man on steroids. I'm looking at him and it's like, what would Rain Man be on steroids? That's what. And then there are other times where he slips out of it and you don't even hear it's just Dwayne. And I'm like, this isn't, you know. So yeah, there were issues with it for me. I was just like, we're talking about Oscar buzz because he's in makeup and prosthetics and you can't really tell it's him. And in the moments where he's doing the voice really well, it's like, yeah, it's a really good acting performance. But is it Oscar worthy? I don't think so. And I think they highly underutilized Emily Blunt, who is always fantastic in everything. But that's one of the underdeveloped things that I was talking about. That storyline, that relationship. If you look up the real life back and forth between them, they hint at it. They touch on it. We get a glimpse. There's one really powerful scene that's like, where was that the rest of the film? I want that throughout. That they just didn't. I don't know, man. That's just me. That's just me, y'all. But I think the two other people in my theater that watched it agreed because they were all kind of like, what? So yeah, man. That's
I guess it heavily follows. There's a documentary that came out about him as well, and it heavily follows like the documentary's pacing and things like that. So I was listening to the Big Picture podcast, who kind of did like a loose review on it, and that's what they were saying. They felt like they were watching an acting documentary compared to an actual storytelling film, which was interesting.
I would agree with that. Yeah, I would agree with that, except at least in the documentary, they give you full detail about certain things. Yeah. This is like they touch on, like for people who don't know, without really spoiling the film, it's like the guy had never lost a match in his life, ever. Yeah. Like he was switching between all these different fighting styles and these different fighting arenas and had never lost. And I don't know if he's like slow in real life or if he's just like socially awkward, whatever. But so when he finally loses it, it's like it affected him in real life, like really bad. Mentally, it sent him down a very dark road. And they hint at that, but we don't see it enough. Yeah. We like, oh, I'm upset. I lost. You're not being very nice. That's where the Rain Man thing, he's like having this argument with Emily Blunt's character, and it's like, that's not very nice. You know this, how it affects me. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? And then his drug addiction to painkillers and how like we he's looking at some stuff and we you know, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he shoots up once and that's basically it. And then we're told he has a problem with it and that it's causing all this grief and he's not performing the same anymore and blah, blah. We're told that, but we don't see the digression into the despair and the mental aspect. We see him check into a rehab center. That's it. We see the check in and then he's out. And I'm like, but he's mentally unstable at that point. And him in the rehab center, mentally unstable, dealing with the addiction would have been so much more powerful to see as oh, okay, he's got a drug problem. Oh, he's going to rehab. Oh, he's out. Like, we're missing it. There's so much more to be told there visually, right? It is storytelling, but it's also visual, and we want to see that. I don't know, man.
Your Letterboxd review, out of 5, how many stars would you give it?
2.5.
2.5.
2.5. Yeah. And that, I want to give it 3. I want to. And if he hadn't slipped in and out of the voice, maybe 3. But there were moments where I just was like, I'm not buying it. It's over the top. It's not enough. It's just right. I'm like, it's the Three Bears, man. It's like, and the pot of porridge. It's like, sometimes it's perfect. Sometimes it's so ridiculously campy, and other times it's not even there. And I'm like, what the fuck? But
I get that. But now, heading over to the IMDb Pro's Top Trending segment.
Yes.
The top trending movie is One Battle After Another. Of course, everybody's talking about it. Wayward, the top trending TV show I just finished. A great limited series on Netflix. Check it out. Toni Collette is fucking crazy.
Yeah, and Patrick J. Adams, and of course,
Patrick J. Adams.
two of our
He's
former
only in
guests.
like 1 or 2 episodes, sadly, but I wish he was in it more. But they imply, like, there's a picture of him, like a drawing. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good people, and we've had a decent amount of people on this podcast that are in that show.
Yes,
so
yes.
Be sure to check that out. It's definitely worth the watch. And then the top trending star is Paul Thomas Anderson, which, I mean, we don't normally get a lot of filmmakers who are the top trending stars, so that's kind of cool.
Very.
So kudos to him.
Unless they die, right?
Yeah,
they die. I will say I did predict correctly. So if you have a chance, do it. Go see Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, because you will not be able to see it in theaters after this weekend. It is literally down to one show at one theater in a 4-state area around me. Yeah, I would have to drive to a different state, and it's literally only showing one time at this one theater in a different state. I called it last week. I said, it's going to go quick. It's going to go fast. I'm so glad I saw that one in the theater, though. It's a beautiful film, y'all. Really, really good, and I hate that it's just underperforming, but mark my words, it will be gone after this weekend. If you can find it this weekend, you're lucky. It'll be gone after this weekend, so go see it if you want to see it.
For sure, man, for sure. Well, it is time to thank you, all you listeners out there, for getting crazy with us for episode 309. Of course, you can follow the podcast, the company. The podcast is at freaking ITCAFpodcast. The company is at Crazy Ant Media. And our other podcast, Everything's Okay, is on at Everything's OKP. We just had an episode come out last week about panic attacks.
Yeah.
It was very good, very informative, and very enlightening. That's for sure.
For sure.
And of course, you can follow us both personally on social media. Myself at JLoganAustin and
at Crazy Ant CEO.
That's right. And you guys know you can subscribe to this podcast anywhere you listen to your podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio, Podbean, Stitcher, and so much more. Be sure to watch the video on YouTube at Crazy Ant Media. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell for all the latest and greatest notifications coming out of Crazy Ant Media. And of course, be sure to visit our website, www.crazyantmedia.com, where we have a little bit of something for a little bit of everyone. If you're a filmmaker, we got bios, we got projects, we got a little bit of something. We got merchandise. Be sure to check those out. All the good things, man. But man, I love how the past 2 weeks have been so packed with great freaking stories about the entertainment industry.
Yeah, man, because for a long stretch, there just wasn't a lot happening. We were coming out of strikes. We were coming out of COVID. We were coming out of, everybody was getting their footing back. It's like, what are we doing? Are we going into production? Are we not? Let's limit this, limit. And now all of a sudden, I feel like we're finally at the stage where we're past that and we're ramping back up. And it's like every week we're getting tons of activity and stories and like, even if it's like cancellations or castings or there's movement, which in this industry, that's key, right? You got to be moving, you got to be working, you got to be going. And so, yeah, it's been a blast, man. This is what we live for is this,
Yeah, I completely agree because it is a big, bold, beautiful world. And I mean, it's one battle after another, even when there's a smashing machine in your face and going through a roller coaster. Halloween, it is that time. I'm super excited. I wonder if this person will be going to go see the official release party of a showgirl, Taylor Swift. I'm sure she got an exclusive screening.
Oh, I'm sure.
The one, the only,
Oprah!